I hear you perfect though, nice and clear. Like I said, I don't have a mic on though, but I'll talk loud.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. But thank you again for taking some time to chat today.
Absolutely.
An exciting day for you. By the way, for everybody who's joining, I have Master Jose Torres, martial arts instructor, actor, producer. Got a lot of things going on, and we're here to talk about something that I know he's very excited about. The press release went out today for Killer X, a movie that will be shooting, I believe, very soon. Master Jose Torres, Master Torres, again, thank you for joining the show today.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate coming on the show today.
So, Killer X, tell me a little bit about it. What is Killer X all about, and how you got involved with this whole project?
Absolutely. It's crazy because it's really been a whirlwind since this whole thing has, happened. I remember we spoke back in January,
Yep.
and I couldn't really say anything just because of some NDAs and some other stuff. So, to be able to do this now is really awesome. But, I got to tell you, the movie is great. And I know everybody's very tech savvy. So they probably, if they saw the press release today, they might have jumped on IMDb to see what the synopsis is, and also maybe look at the article that I shared today. But it's funny. It's a story about a retired assassin who is a normal guy now. He's married, he has kids, he's a soccer coach, he's a local karate instructor. And he left that behind him some time before. And what happens is his ex-girlfriend, who was also assassin and part of his world, years ago, comes back into his life with a slew of assassins following her. So he kind of gets sucked back into the world that he was trying to avoid. And it's just a crazy opportunity. Like I said, for me, this is my first film like this, and I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like, I don't know how to act today. Like, the love that I've gotten on social media, wow, you know what I mean? Like, whoo, it's been crazy. So,
well, that's great. I mean, your first big role. What kind of roles were you watching as you were growing up that eventually led you to this point?
It's funny because I had to do when they were doing like the press release, I'd spoken to a couple of reporters, and it was funny because they were like, well, what's your history? What's your background? How have you acted before? And, people that know me before I was married and when I was in high school and college, I did plays, I did musicals. So, it's not like it's totally from left field. I have performed before. And it was funny because, when I was in high school, I did couple plays, very, everybody knows them, Chorus Line, Bye Bye Birdie, and Grease. And it was funny because Bye Bye Birdie, I played Conrad Birdie, and he sang and danced. Right. And then in Grease, I was Danny Zuko, and it's funny because I was the Puerto Rican Danny Zuko, So, that was big. That was big for me at that time. I was like 16, sure. 17. So, sure. I ended up doing like a monologue at my university, at Penn State University. I took some theater classes, and I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked performing and kind of bringing the characters to life. And, life takes you in a different course. I came home, got married, had a kid, and kind of had a business. And, I've been, today is funny. We celebrate today, 23 years we've been in business for my franchise, Team Torres Martial Arts. So, that's awesome. That was probably my acting before. And I got the opportunity to, over the last couple of years, just kind of get involved with some different projects behind the scenes, learning about doing stunt fighting and doing different interviews and being able to actually work with guys just to learn the craft a little bit, but I had never really done anything at that point. Now with this project, I'm the main guy, what I mean? I'm the main guy. So, you got to admit though, Danny Zuko and Conrad Birdie are a far cry from an assassin whose ex-wife comes back into the scene. So, and I know you as a martial artist. So, where do the martial arts and your acting come together to help you with this role? I think that being able to perform, because again, think of it from before when I was younger, you're performing, right? We're in high school, you're acting a certain way. In college, you're acting a certain way. But as martial artists, we perform every day. You're in front of your class. You're motivating your students. You're teaching them techniques to defend themselves. You're maybe you have a demo team, so you have to learn to put people together, get them to perform at the same time. So a lot of those skill traits that I developed, I got to be honest with you, this is like right in my wheelhouse. I perform every day of my life, so it's like, oh, this is great. But the fighting. I mean, I used to compete a lot when I was younger. I was a Taekwondo player in college, and I went to the Junior Olympics, and competed at a pretty high level at that time. And so I was able to kind of integrate some of those things, into this. Learning the stunt fighting and punching and ducking and moving and working together. But I do have to say, for this project, I mean, I get to come out of the box with I went to California. We did some pre-production stuff, which I can't talk about because I posted it, and I got to work with William Christopher Ford, who played Dennis, out of Karate Kid 3. And I mean, he's number one. He's an amazing master. He owns his own school. Very accomplished practitioner. Was a great tournament competitor back in the day. So being able to work with someone, number one, that's a good martial artist, but that has also been in movies, was a home run. And it was able to kind of put things together, because I was working with a professional. And having Muhammad Kisi, Tong Po coming out, what I mean? Yeah. We formed a great relationship, and the fact that I get to fight, what I mean? Like, that's, I gotta be honest with you. I feel like a kid. I'm smiling ear to ear. People are probably gonna hate me, but I don't know, man. This thing is great, We got
a comment here in the chat room. Fletcher Oliver said, "You have a great vibe. You're gonna go far." So that's cool to hear. But Tong Po, a legendary villain for martial arts film fans. So how did he get involved with this film?
So, it's crazy how this whole thing happened. So I got to tell you, I got to give kudos to Jim Towns, writer, director. Definitely search him up. He's got some films that are out there. He got a couple films that are going to be coming on a streaming service. He's phenomenal what he does. He's been in the industry for 20 years, more on the independent side. But this is pretty cool for him as well. He's excited about this project. But I had the opportunity to meet him through William Christopher Ford, because we've been friends over the last couple of years. And I got to give kudos, and I have to say this from the bottom of my heart is, this opportunity does not happen. None of this interview with you, none of this does not happen if it does not start with William Christopher Ford, helping me. Putting things in contact for me, saying, "Hey, Jose, talk to this guy," telling Jim Towns about me. I met Jim in California. He told me about a project he was doing. I talked to him. I was able to read some lines for him. And, I sold myself. I basically said, "Hey, I'm your guy, man. I'm the one. I'm ready. Let's go." So what happened was I was able to kind of put a little bit of influence to talk about some people that I wanted to involve with the project. William, of course, without him. And then I had developed a really good relationship with Muhammad Kisi. I mean, that guy, I know he was mean in kickboxer, but that guy is a beautiful human being. And, for him to come aboard the project, and I will say he and I are going to be doing some other stuff in the future. We built a great relationship, but he came aboard. I was able to pitch him, and he came aboard. And, we recently added, a couple weeks ago, we added Gerald Okamura. I mean, he's a legend, Big Trouble Little China. Just kicking it in from Disney to the G.I. Joes. I mean, it's like, I have to be honest with you. I feel like a kid at a freaking candy store. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to act.
There's some great names there, particularly for martial arts fans. So that's awesome. Talk to me about the film. You said that Jim Towns was involved in. I believe he wrote it and he's directing it. Yeah. Talk to me about the film. What is the film about? What is the vibe that we should be taking from it? Given that we've got films out there, John Wick, obviously John Wick 4 in the theaters right now. What are we looking at when we're talking about Killer X?
So there's things obviously I could talk about, and things that right. We want everybody to be excited when they first see the film, but sure. I got to tell you, the one thing that I want everybody to take away is, is it going to have some of that old school nostalgia? Absolutely. Gerald Okamura, Muhammad Kisi, William Christopher Ford, but we're not doing, 1970s fight scenes. You know what I mean? We're doing some really impactful, really cool combinations and some great choreo, as well as there's going to be some iconic throwback to the 1980s fight scenes. We have Muhammad. I mean, we got some really, really cool stuff. But, the thing to keep in mind, I think, with this movie is it's not just a, chopsaki old school movie. It's not. It's got character depth, character arcs. Victor, I play Victor. So Victor's the lead. He's the family guy who used to be the assassin. And you know what's funny that I think everybody could take away from the character is the fact of Victor is in all of us, especially if like you're over the age of 35, right? Or 40. So, and even younger, right? Because we always, we all have a past. We all have a past that we came from, whether it was positive or negative. And sometimes in our life, we want to push that past so far behind us and keep it behind us so we don't, you know what I mean? We only want to focus on the now.
Sure.
And Victor has to walk this fine line throughout the whole movie because on one side, he's got his family. He loves it. This is the world he wants to be in, right? But he's still a good human being, so he wants to support his ex. You know what I mean? And he's walking that fine line because I think, like, in most movies, Jeff, they want to be able to, there's a little bit of like sensualization. You know what I mean? All that kind of.
Sure.
But it's, you know what I mean? We're telling a good story. Victor's a good character. I think people are going to fall in love with the character. I really, really do. And I really think he's a little bit a part of everybody. It's not a far-fetched. It's not I'm playing I don't know, an alien from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, I really think there's a part of everybody, right? Because we all had a former life to what we are now. And if you're an instructor now, maybe you were a great fighter when you were in your 20s and now you're 40, 50 and, you don't move as well, but you still have that knowledge. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you're going to see. Now, I will tell you, though, Victor's bad, though. Victor's like, he's a bad.
Of course.
He's a badass. Like, that dude can handle himself. I'm just letting you know. He's pretty good,
Well, no, so let's touch on that because you're talking about connecting to the characters, and that's all well and good because obviously you have to be able to connect with them to believe in them. But for martial arts film fans, we want to see that action. We want to see that that dynamic, kick-ass action that's in your face. And I think Lawrence Walter is involved with this. He's a fight choreographer. Is he responsible for the fight choreography here?
So no, actually, Lawrence is casted as one of the assassins. He'll be playing the character Leonard. So he's actually coordinating. What we've done is for different fight scenes is, we wanted to not just have one specific stunt coordinator. So like I'm doing majority of the choreography. Cool. Muhammad's doing some, William's doing some, Lawrence is doing some, and then we actually have a consultant that's going to kind of oversee everything, which is going to be Manny Ayala. Manny Ayala is going to be part of it. And I just said Manny because I have an interview with Manny tomorrow. Yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking. Manny Ayala is going to be the stunt consultant to kind of help us out with everything. But it's really cool because everybody kind of has their own, little thing that they're going to put on it. Lawrence is going to have a great scene with the lead actress, Elena. Yep. She's phenomenal. She's part of one of the stunts groups out in California. She's done a lot of different movies. Cool. People are going to love her. I mean, she's great, man. She's great.
So with all of that action skill all in one place, what are we looking at in terms of action? I mean, what are we drawing from? Are we drawing from those kung fu films from the 70s, or are we in the 80s and 90s stuff style now?
I think, what I think you're going to see, and we're really trying, one of the concepts is we want to try to have a well-balanced diet of fighting, right? Because I feel like, and again, certain movies have certain aspects, right? It's just, a Chinese martial arts movie, or just traditional Japanese, or just, hey, the boxing film, or just this. We're really going to try. I mean, each assassin kind of has their own fighting style. Like one assassin's a kickboxer. There's twins that are assassins, and they're more wrestlers. So they're going to do more things that are, they're doing more grappling stuff. And then we have one of the other assassins is going to be more of a kicker. So you're going to see him doing more spinning stuff. And it's cool, like for me, because my character kind of has like, this base fighting style, but you're going to see him have to go into different, methods to be able to beat these guys. You know what I mean? Like a 2-on-1 is going to be hard. So he's got to do this. And, with one guy that's really proficient with weapons, he has to do this. And, there's weapons. I mean, I get to fight with 2 different weapons on the screen, which is awesome. Cool. It's funny because I don't want to give it away, but there's one specific weapon, like, I really didn't have experience in it. You know what I mean? So now it's like, oh man, like you're always learning, And it was really cool. Like there's a lot of work that comes into this, to the guys that are, professionals that do this day in and day out, man. Yeah. It's a lot of work, man. People don't understand stunt coordinating and stunt fighting. Holy moly. Like you're fighting like a 10-round fight in one day. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just because you're giving all out, you got to open up, you got to sit on your head. So there's a lot of different things you have to do that I'm still learning, right? Because I'm, used to teaching and being proficient in a specific way. And, it's been really humbling. I'll be honest with you. It's been very humbling, and I love it.
For anybody who doesn't know what my show is about, I have these stunt choreographers and fight coordinators on the show, particularly because that's the kind of stuff that I appreciate. I appreciate the work that they put into it to make all of this action come to life for us on screen. But now you're there on the other side. Speaking of that, though, this is a smaller budget feature than, say, like the big Hollywood films. So, the big Hollywood films will have stunt guys for all of their actors. Are there stunt guys for you guys?
No, brother. This is let me tell you. I will say this is a blessing. A lot of the assassins are trained martial artists.
Perfect.
So we're going to be able to bring that realism to it. Okay. But no, we don't have any stunt guys that are going to be rolling and jumping through windows. Like, this is everybody that's doing it. Everybody's putting, their heart and soul into this film. And what I think everybody's going to take away, like I said, they're going to take a little bit apart from each character. And we're hoping that, hey, I really like this guy, or this guy was cool. This guy was bad at, but I really think that people are going to appreciate, what we're doing with who we have, the realism of it. And, just take something away from it. Cause it's like I said, everybody's working hard, everybody's working hard, and they're putting a little bit of, their whole soul into this to make this thing happen. But there's no one, I'm going to say this on your show first, cause you're the first show that I'm doing. No one is going to believe what we end up, production wise doing for this film. The production value that we're bringing as far as locations and it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Really unbelievable. So,
that's awesome.
But I think that's a lot of, support, and that's a lot of faith, and a lot of, just good, proper timing, everything come together. We're filming in New Jersey, we're filming in Pennsylvania. We shot a little bit in LA when I was there. And, just some of the sites there, people are going to be like, wow, how did they get that? So I think people are going to be very excited. Yeah. There's no, we don't have any, there's no spaceship scenes, no helicopters, this one, but hopefully on the next one, we'll be able to throw in some, some helicopter scenes and some car chases. You know what I mean?
That's cool. No, that's cool. That's cool. Now, you were mentioning putting all of that realism into the fighting. For those of us who, key in on those type of things. It's important, particularly when we know that the guys that we're watching on screen are doing the action for real. It helps to sell it if we believe in that action, right? We get invested into it, and we like to see actual skilled martial artists doing their thing on screen. So it's going to be a credit to you guys that you're going to be able to do all that stuff yourself. But on the other side of that, how real is it real? Because you can't do some of the real martial arts stuff on screen because it doesn't look as good, to be honest. Right. So what kind of flair are you bringing to the action, particularly all that hand-to-hand combat?
We're going to try. I'm kind of doing a special thing, which I'm hoping. Because again, we film in June. We've done some test shooting already, which has been great. We did get to film 2 of the scenes already, which was awesome. We did that last week, and then we're going to do our full shoot starting in June. But I'm going to try to throw some Easter eggs in there. There's kind of a special thing that I'm trying to throw in to kind of separate myself and kind of make my mark. But we're going to put some realism of some techniques and stuff. And I want to try to be able to make that correlation between, the Tong Sudo system and some hand combination, things of that nature. Not so it's just, a lot of punches and kicks. But I really think, from the detail of different blocks to the detail of kicks. And I'll be upfront with you. We have not done the full shooting. And in just a couple days that I was out in LA, right? I'll tell you the truth. This is the honest truth, right? If people don't think this stuff is real, I have bruises on my chest. I haven't had a bruise on my chest in years, right? And I'm practicing. And William Ford hit me with a front kick. I'm a pretty strong dude. I'm a big dude, right? Well, after the 30th time, right? After a while, you get a little tenderized, right? So it was funny because, I was like, go ahead, hit me. We're good. And we're going back and forth, And it was funny because I got home that night. I said, man, my left side hurts a little bit. I woke up the next morning. I had all this black and blue on this side. I said, well, that's what I get, for letting them tee off on me. You know what I mean? But all safe, but still, think of it. You're going to keep hitting. Yep. Eventually, you're going to have some blood vessels break at some point, it'll be a little bit bruising, but yeah, it's been a great opportunity and experience so far. Working with those guys. I have to be honest with you. I pray that I'm not a fanboy, but I am so excited to fight and work with Muhammad. I got to be honest with you. We talk
yeah.
every day. We're very excited. We're working on some stuff, but like, to be able to work with him is a dream come true. Honestly, for me, honestly, and he's a great man, great human being.
Well, he filled a lot of our nightmares growing up. So
I just remember him kicking the pole.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. That's awesome. So talk to me about the schedule. Where are you going to be shooting? When does all of it start? How long is the whole shoot going to take? Are you guys going to be ready by the end of the summer? What kind of timeline are you talking about?
So, from a basic standpoint of what I can reveal is, like, as I told you, we've already filmed some stuff. We did that actually about 2 weeks ago. We got to film some flashbacks and some other stuff that's happening in California. And we will actually go, we start June 1st, probably go to around the 20th of June. To be about a 20-day shoot physically. I mean, from start to finish, from those main scenes.
Yep.
Then we'll probably have some reshoots and things that we have to do. I'll be heading back to California for some other things that we have to do. And I think the game plan is to, God willing, go through the editing and everything. And hopefully by the fall, get some type of teaser out, if it's something little, then drop the trailer. And then hopefully, our intention is to try to do an East Coast premiere first. And then in Burlington, New Jersey, kind of close to home for me, obviously. And then we're going to do a West Coast premiere. And from a back end of things, I've been able to kind of partner with a lot of relationships that I've established, because I do a lot of big overseas demos and stuff like that. So we're looking about 10. I think we're going to have about 10 different theaters that we're going to be doing
Nice.
kind of like a red carpet events at each of these places. And I mean, from New Jersey to California to Texas to Florida to Virginia, those are kind of like the domestic ones. And then, we're going to bring the international flair to it. And I mean, we're going to do something in St. Thomas. We're going to do something in Trinidad and Tobago, possibly working on something in the Netherlands. I mean, this is definitely not going to be the normal independent film, but, we've been blessed too, because it's based upon relationships, and how all these things happen. So.
That's cool. What is the one thing that you've learned about the industry? Hopping into it as an actor for the first time. What's the one thing that you're taking away from the whole experience so far?
You know what? I got to tell you, I think as a martial artist. So I'll give you a martial artist. I'll give you a dad. I'll give you a couple different views. As a martial artist, right? We're built our programs and who we are based off our proficiency, right? And we all have egos. That's the fact. I don't care who says it, right? You're the best at what you do. That's what everybody is, right? And I think, when you're doing it on film, it now elevates it to a whole different level, right? And the one thing that I kind of learned is you're going to get humbled, right? Because what you think you look like and you can actually do is a little bit different when you do it for the camera. It's totally different, You're not throwing the spinning hook kick to actually hit the guy. It's got to come, you know what I mean? Like, there's just different things. And almost feeling like, oh, I got to pull a punch or I have to go this direction. So it looks like, that's learning. I'm learning, so you're like a white belt all over again, but with more of a background of training. And I think that's what I took. Seeing the professionals, the big time movies, the Marvel movies, or I got to tell you, I love Denzel Washington and those actors, Liam Neeson, the amount of effort and they have at their craft, from facial expressions to delivery to memorizing lines. Woo! I mean, listen, I'm the main lead in this, right? So I got like 70 pages of script. Oh my goodness. I can't sleep at night because I got to remember. I can't sleep. I'm having like anxiety attacks now.
Sure. I don't blame you. That it's a big thing to have a film on your shoulders. So, but you're an accomplished martial artist. You're no stranger to adversity. So I expect you'll handle this just fine. But speaking of that, what drew you to this script? What was it about this script that spoke to you enough to want to take that responsibility on your shoulders?
Remember, as I said earlier in the film, I said it. There's a little Victor Reyes in everybody. And I mean. To read the script and how his character is, and when you're going to first meet him and what he's doing and how he reacts to everything, I felt like some of the stuff is was me, literally was me. Like, I wasn't an assassin, but how I was in younger versus when I first started with my school, right? Or as a competitor, or what my focus was then to what it is now. And that kind of drew me, and the possibility of this character coming to life. Victor, he's a father, he's got a son, he's got a daughter, he's got a wife, and as a married guy myself, right? So now you're in this weird situation, and then having his ex come in, like, I as a married guy, you're going to be awkward regardless, right? So it's kind of like, it was cool because I was like, wow, this is a believable character. It wasn't like it was like, again, some alien or spaceship captain. Right. Although, maybe in the future we'll get involved with that stuff. But this is a believable character that, I really feel, we could bring to life and sell, and people will be like, wow, that was well done, And Jim Towns is just a great. I mean, from the levity and the script he put in, to some just comedic timing. Oh my God, it's not just, again, just like kind of a normal thing. I mean, this is a true, it's not a martial arts movie at all. It's not. It's an action drama, that has martial arts in it, and I think that's what's going to give it some life. Whether it's potential, because we do have some surprises that are going to come along that are definite now, and the potential future for the project and where this is going to go. And we got some other names. I'll be up front. I have a very important lunch meeting this coming Friday with an actor that I think some of you are going to know, talking about some potential future for this project. So
awesome.
It's going to get some. Yeah, it's definitely going to get some legs, man. I think so. I think.
Wait. So who's that actor again? Who's that actor?
What did you say?
Who was that actor again? You didn't.
I can't say that. That's a secret. No. But no. Martial artist, was in some big films.
Cool.
And great guy. And again, kind of part of the circle. And just like I said, just exciting, man. It's crazy how all these things, come together. And I've been blessed because this is such a, I don't want to say a controlled environment, but like, it's grassroots. There's a lot of people helping with this and making this production happen. This is not a, hey, we're blessed, we have $100 million budget. It is not that, But,
right.
But everybody's putting in as if it is such. And that's what I think is going to make it, special and get legs, right? Because if I'll share this with you, a couple of cast members, I won't say who, because I don't want to put them on blast. But a couple of people involved with the project got so excited, they already shared like the poster, and they shared some things, and technically it wasn't supposed to happen, right? So there was a couple of us that were like, hey, you can't, but that was awesome to have them so excited that they were like, man, let's get this out, and that that's cool. That's a really, really, really cool thing,
No, that's awesome, and I'm thrilled to be able to help spread the word. I'm a fan of yours, and I'm a fan of the work that you do. So hopefully this will help spread the message and get people to see the film. Speaking of which, the fans of action film all gravitate towards particular things. Which kinds of fans are going to be drawn to Killer X?
It's a tough question. It's funny because I think, as you're going through any film, right, you might have one idea like, hey, I do my podcast, right? And I'm saying, okay, I'm going to get the genre of my age group, this to this, and this is going to support, right? I mean, hopefully you get women, hopefully you don't. Maybe you get kids, maybe you don't. But, with this film, I think it's a generational, like it's not R-rated, we're kind of shooting for like a PG-13. And there's going to be, we got some cool kid characters, there's two in there. There's I have a son, I have a daughter, and they're going to kind of set up some stuff for the future. We do have a female lead. As I told you, Elena Chernova, she's phenomenal. She plays Ayana. She's the main, female lead. And I think that's going to attract some people, right? Then you're going to get the nostalgic cult group from like that loves kickbox or that loves Bloodsport, right? So that's bringing those guys in. Then you're going to go to your Karate Kid fans. They're going to love William, and they're going to follow from there, And then you're just going to have, the people that love the Latino Jose Torres. So, what I mean? It's just, we're hitting it from all corners. We're hitting it from all corners. That's the game plan,
Awesome. Are you going to be lining up festivals and all that stuff once it's ready to go? I'm sure.
Yes. So, the game plan is obviously we're going to do kind of a limited release with these red carpet events, then get it into a couple festivals, and, working on distribution as we speak. Nothing confirmed at all, nothing at all, but, that's obviously the game plan. Hopefully, we see. And that's always the tough thing with these independents, right? That's always the tough thing. But I believe in this one, man. You know how like you feel like when you do something and you're like, man, this just feels so good, like it's gonna happen. It's not just a pipe dream. It's not like, that's the feeling that I get about this. Like, I'm so passionate about this. Like, I believe in this. I believe in this project. I believe in the cast. I believe in the director. And I think the film is gonna blow a lot of people away. And I'm just hoping the right people support it. So it does get some legs and move on. Because our intention, God willing, man, we're going to try to make this thing a trilogy. We got stories lined up. We got concepts. We're ready to rock and roll, man. We're ready to go.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, that's great. So the big question, though, again, it's a natural thing when you talk about assassins in films with a martial arts flair to it. But Victor Reyes and John Wick go into a warehouse. Who's walking out and who's carried out?
Now, do I have to answer that as like a movie real like actor guy, or can I? I'm a fan. I love Keanu Reeves. What are you talking about? I don't have a problem. I love Keanu. However, I really think Victor Reyes, right, especially after this movie, would be a great addition to John Wick 5. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there.
Put it out there now, yeah, for sure.
Listen, if you throw it out and speak it, it manifests and it happens. That's the truth. Because listen, 3 years ago, I told somebody I was going to make a movie. I was going to be in a movie, and look at where we are now. But man, come on, I can't. Out of respect, I'm not those guys that's gonna be like, oh, I'm the greatest. I'm gonna tell you, I love Keanu Reeves, I love John Wick, and Scott Adkins, and all those guys. Those guys are legends. You know what I mean? And the things that they're able to do is just phenomenal. You know what I mean? Now, if it's a movie guy, I would tell you Victor Reyes is the man. Victor's always fighting for his family, right? Victor's always fighting for his family, so he's fighting for something, and he's hovering on that. Does he go back to the dark, or does he kind of come? Does he stay? It's funny, when they did the press release and we were talking about the character, they used the term altruistic, right? And he's walking that fine line. He's an altruistic character, right? Because he stays in that, he's trying to walk that fine line, and he doesn't want to go to one way or the other, But that also makes him very dangerous at the same time, because at any time he can snap and he's going to catch the people off guard, which I think is going to kind of filter into the future projects that we're talking about. But, again, Keanu's the man. Listen, he can kill me anytime. I'm good. I just need a couple, a little bit of time with him. Show some spin kicks. But, no, he's amazing, man. That guy is, wow. Again, I'm a fan. I try to keep this as real as possible. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I'm just blessed that God's given me the opportunity, right? And the platform now to do this. That's all that it is. And that's what I think, right? God, I think everybody that gets into anything, whether it's opening up a school, whether it's doing a podcast, we hope that people listen, right? And we hope they listen long enough so that we can get our message across. So I take this as, this is a God's opportunity, right? At my age and where I'm at now in my life, to be able to say, hey, man, this is a platform for you. Run with it. Give people an opportunity, work with good people. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? That's kind of my vision. I'm hoping that we could do multiple pictures. I'm hoping that, maybe I do an independent type, production company, which is I'm working on, to try to give like newer actors and martial artists the opportunity, right? Because there's the big dogs. There's always going to be the big dogs, But I think, like, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with Tyler Perry. Look at what Tyler Perry's done for his community and everything. Like, and as a Latino, we're very, very underrepresented in the movie industry. So, this could be big for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it as big as it can, and whatever I can do to help is the most important,
That's awesome. No, that's great. And it's a great goal to have. And it's not unheard of for smaller indie films to have big impact. So that's not out of the realm of possibility at all. So obviously if the people are there and the stories are there and, it connects with the fans, you could do something amazing.
That's the gameplay. I got to tell you, again, I've been involved in martial arts for 40 years, right? And had a lot of naysayers in my life. And that's the truth, honestly. And, I was a young kid, and, I think pretty much the normal, was kind of bullied and kind of got into it. And I was a very late bloomer. Like, I was, when I was younger, I was a little bit heavier, had glasses. I was not a popular kid at all. And, as I started developing and I started realizing, like, hey, this is how you present, this is how you talk to people. I'm kind of funny, so people were excited. And then athletically, I kind of got a little bit better at the things I did. I kind of became a little more popular. and had a great high school experience. Oh my God, unbelievable. My high school experience, my college experience was phenomenal. Which kind of led to where I'm at now. But I think you kind of just got to go with the flow, right? And hope that these things happen. But I really think, like I said, this is a great opportunity for a lot of people, and I'm hoping that, like I said, I can share it with other people and be on a platform to maybe reach more people, right? Let's say this is the only film I ever do, but I can get a message to one specific person, cool. And one specific person says, "Hey, here's a guy, that started his school, 23 years ago." It's funny, today I celebrate my 23rd year of business for my karate school, so we have like a little thing that we're doing tonight, and I was told when I first started, I wouldn't make it, right? I wouldn't make it. Nobody, you're a young Latino, you're not going to do it. I had a lot of people tell me that, I'll be honest with you, told me I'd never make it. You'll never be big in the area. You'll never have more than 10 students. You don't know. And at that time, I was actually decently accomplished martial artist. I just got done the Junior Olympics, Taekwondo, won a gold medal. Like I was big. I was in at that time in the United States, I was ranked, I was pretty big. But I hadn't run a business at that point. I didn't know my model yet of what I was going to sell, Yep. And there's a lot of naysayers and people that tell you no, right? And I think that, again, if you speak it and manifest it and you have direction and you do what you need to do, So.
There's no better revenge than success, right?
That's it, man. That's it. All I know is that the Kung Fu Driving podcast is going to be the premier podcast that covers everything with the movie. The fact that you give us this opportunity, and you're local to me too. So at the East Coast premiere, sir, I expect you there.
Absolutely. And if you guys can all get together and we can do a whole thing about the film with as many of the cast members as possible, let me know. We'll be there.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I know those guys would love that. We can get William and Muhammad and Elena. And we have another great actress, Amanda from Philadelphia. She just got done. Oh my goodness. The new Perry Mason on HBO Max.
Nice. Yeah.
I think that's out. She just did that. Yeah. She's phenomenal. She plays Marzana, who's this she's the female bad person,
Cool.
My ex, Ayana, who's played by Elena, right. She's not bad. You know what I mean? She's good at heart, right? But she's still stuck in that, assassin way. Like she's ready to, take everybody out. And it's funny, the camaraderie and that give and take from her and, Victor. And I think people are, like I said, it's not just like, hey, I'm going to go in, I'm going to kill people and I'm going to do this. There's dialogue, there's real acting, you know what I mean? And, I don't know, man. I really think people are going to love it. I think they're going to take a little something. Yeah, it's a good script. Jim did a great job. I will tell you this. I shared the script with two people who have currently done big Hollywood movies, multi-million-dollar movies. And they read the script, signed NDAs, and I just asked for their opinion, and they said that's a phenomenal script. And they said, especially to be your first one. They said, because I get to, I have multiple fight scenes, right? My character, the way the arch of my character goes, and it's my first one. This is huge. People pay, money to get those type of reels, and this is going to be one film for me, So I'm excited, man. I really, really am. Really excited.
Yeah, it's evident the excitement and the belief that you have in this project. And you're talking about potential sequels and all that, so that's awesome. Do me a favor, go through the cast, everybody again, and just give me a quick rundown of who they are.
Sure, no problem. So you have. Oh, now you're going to catch me off the top of my head. Again, I play the lead, Victor Reyes. Mm-hmm. There is Ayana, which is played by Elena Chornova. There's the assassin, Joe Gondo, who has a really cool backstory that I think, I will sneak this. I think we're going to be trying to put together a little Killer X universe here that's going to be happening.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah. So he plays Joe Gondo, which is an assassin. Very technical assassin, but also has a little vice that he uses in the movie. So you guys will see that. Muhammad Kisi plays the character Shakur, who is this, he's kind of like the big boss. You know what I mean? He's the big boss. I think I might have mentioned Amanda plays the female big boss, but on the opposite sense, she has kind of her own thing. That's Amanda. Lawrence plays one of the assassins, Leonard. There's another newcomer named Shannon Bogan. He's actually one of my black belts, very professional, accomplished attorney. He's going to be one of the assassins. He plays There's also going to be Connor and Chase Malarkey, who were Division I wrestlers for Rider University.
Oh, nice.
They're yeah. I mean, these guys look great, man. They're beautiful, like they're good-looking kids, and they play the twins, Carl and Earl. We also have another SAG stuntman. I don't know if he's been on your show or not, but he does a lot of work with Lawrence as well. That's Bill Pugh. Bill Pugh's going to be part of it. He plays a character as well. Then we have the kids. The kids are play a new actress. She's actually from college at Bucks County Community College. Kayla. She'll be playing. And then actually my two boys are a part of the film as well.
Nice.
So people are going to get to see my youngest, Mason, and then I'll see my oldest, Ryan. Ryan will be playing Dimitri, which is kind of like the henchman to Marzana, and he'll get to flex his martial arts prowess and do some cool stuff. Yeah. So hopefully, we'll see what happens. Gerald Okamura plays a really cool role. He kind of plays my I'm not going to say father figure, but he kind of plays like that person that got me into the assassin world. So we kind of have this relationship. But Gerald's smooth, man. I got to tell you, we filmed something together. We did like 2 takes. That guy's a professional.
Oh,
you know? And obviously, I felt the pressure. I had to be professional, right? This guy's nailed it on the first take, and I'm like, you know what I mean? My mouth's open. I was like, wow, he's really good.
That's awesome.
So, but when you work with good people, I feel like you bring up your level of stuff, And I had a great opportunity to film with him. We did, like I said, I mean, the one scene we did 2 takes. It was phenomenal. It just came out. It was beautiful, So he's a pleasure to work with.
Cool.
I think I touched base on mostly everybody. There's a couple other actors.
William Christopher Ford.
Anybody specifically you were looking for?
Just William Christopher Ford. I think is the last one, and then I think that's everybody.
So William, like I said, William plays Joe Gondo. Like I told you.
Okay.
And he's he has his iconic hair, and William is menacing, man. That guy's so talented. Oh my God, he's phenomenal with the weapons. Phenomenal martial artist. He was a pleasure to work with, and he kicks hard as hell. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, is that why these guys wear these pads? You know what I mean? Because again, I don't know. So I come out there and I feel like I'm ready to go. I'm like, my arms are great. I'm strong. I'm ready. Then by day 2, day 3, I said, oh man, chest is hurting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, those are the great stories, right?
Great guy, man. Great guy. And again, I cannot say enough good things about William, because I swear to you, without William, this whole opportunity does not happen. And then, being able to tie in Muhammad and, his amazing, he's just a good human being as well. Great guy. So, we're looking to do more projects together. Me and William and Muhammad click very, very well. So, I think people are going to see that. The lead actress, again, Elena, she is phenomenal. I think people are going to be very wild with her. She's done a lot of more SAG stunt stuff. So she's been in a ton of movies, but, this is, she'll be the lead of this, and she works really, we work pretty well together. So I think people are going to like it.
That's awesome.
Funny, so, and pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So then for anybody in the audience, anybody out there listening that wants to follow along with the film, where can they go? What sites do they need to bookmark? What social networks do they have to plug into so that they can keep up with the progress of the film?
Well, I will say that, my online martial arts experience, you can log into any of that on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But primarily they will be launching, I believe it's going to come out May, I think, or right in June 1st, where they're going to have an actual, Killer X website, movie site, with the mock flyer that's out now, with the character listings. They can also, there's an IMDb for Killer X. They have some of the cast up. It does read that it's in pre-production right now. But, they can definitely stay in contact with the IMDb for Killer X, because they'll be posting, as we get a little more frequent. But I would definitely say like and follow the martial arts experience if you can, at least for this month on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And then Killer X the movie will have its own social media platform that you guys will be able to follow, because they're going to do some some promotional stuff and raffles and T-shirts and selling all kind of merchandise and stuff like that. I will like to say I do want to give a plug. So one of the cool things we're doing for the independent, this has kind of been something that I put together is we're actually going to be working on a soundtrack. We're actually going to have an official soundtrack for this independent film.
Very cool.
And we're gonna have some local talent, but there's also a pretty big name. If you're in the age range between 30 and 50, there's a big reggaeton rapper person, without giving his name officially. That it's gonna say soundtrack featuring this person, and I think people are gonna be like, "Whoa, how did you get this guy?" But as I told you, so many pieces fitting together for this, man. I could never even write how this all stuff happened. It's just that's why I think it's meant to be, and I think it's going to be very positive for a lot of people.
You know what? I hope all of this gets put together for the DVD release as part of the extras.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's awesome. Master Torres, listen, best of luck. The excitement and the enthusiasm is clear in your voice. I can't wait to see what you guys put together. With the talent that you've assembled, with the enthusiasm from you, and no doubt from some of your other fellow actors. I think there's going to be a lot of heart here. So, best of luck with the film. I hope the shooting goes well, and I hope we get to see more of Victor Reyes in the near future.
I'm going to tell you, Victor Reyes is he's a great character, man. I think a lot of people are going to like him. And I think you will definitely see him in the future. And, I tell you, for everybody involved with the production, like I told you, everybody's, great people to work with. And, this was privately funded. This was not a Kickstarter. We didn't do it at Indiegogo. This was something that people invested in the project. They invested as me as the lead. They invested as Muhammad. And I think that speaks volumes. Really, really does, the passion, why I'm so excited, right? Because someone's giving me this opportunity. So I should be happier than anything, right? You know what I mean? So I'm going to bring everything that I can to make it worth for the people that are taking a chance on me, because we don't get to anywhere in life unless somebody takes a chance, right? It's about our connections, But yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. And I think the one thing they might do some stuff for marketing, maybe do some potential late investors and stuff. I think they're going to do something at the end. I know that the director's putting together kind of like a fundraiser video. So some of the stuff we shot, little teaser stuff, so people can kind of see, hey, this is what it's going to look like, and kind of get some guys involved. But I know we're going to do some, at least I'm trying to do some local background casting, because I want to be able to give love to everybody, right? So like if it's a pizza scene, I want to get some guys that I know, I want to give them a chance to get a little bit of love, Cool. So, and that's something, I'll be honest with you, I hold tight to my chest, because somebody gave me the opportunity. So I want to be able to hey, what are you doing? Do you want to be part of this? And, we've been able to do that. We have a couple cool little small, very, very small parts that we were able to get some people casted for. But I know we're going to be doing a casting for the one pizza scene in New Jersey to get some more, family kind of oriented involved. And then there's a bar scene we're going to be doing in Reading. I know they casted pretty much, I think there's like 3 or 4 they're looking for left. And then there's another restaurant scene. So make it, make it look good. Make it look good. So I'm excited. Yep.
If you need a podcast playing in the background, you know where to go, right?
It's already done. You don't have to worry about it. I already set that over already.
Listen, the Kung Fu Driving Podcast will be the entire way. So hopefully you'll keep us in the loop. And, like I said, if you guys want to come back and talk about it more, let's set aside some time, and let's do Killer Extra up right.
Awesome, man. No, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Again, as a fellow podcaster, I know how hard this is to do, but thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for making this happen today. It means a lot to me. So I am passionate, man. This is it, man. This is happening, brother. This is happening.
It's great to see it. It's great to see it. Best of luck with the film again. Best of luck with everything. I hope everything goes smoothly, and